There are a lot of discussions going on about Shedeur Sanders. Now let me break it down to you what is really happening. The NFL does not want to get mooned. Now what do I mean by moon? Warren Moon. They refused to draft Warren Moon, and what happened? He went to Canada and he won the Grey Cup, about 4 in a row. You see, Warren Moon won the college championship back in the 70s. He was the best quarterback out there. They refused to draft him, and he went to Canada, won 4 Grey Cups. Then they brought him back here from Canada and gave him one of the highest quarterback contracts ever, because not drafting him allowed him to become a free agent. So they bring him back here at more money. Now, they did not want to do the same thing with Shador. Whether they refused to draft him because they didn't like his father, or maybe it was racism, doesn't mean a hill of beans. The reality of the situation is they were forced to draft him so they wouldn't get mooned. Then what they did, they put him behind Flacco, put him behind Dillon, and then they picked up 3 washouts and tried to put them in front of him. But the demand to see him play was so great, they were forced to play him. They were forced to get rid of Flacco and play him. And when they did, he lit it up. He lit it up. So the key, and now they have to play him, because he did what? He sold over $250,000 worth of jersey. The demand was too high. So they were forced to play him. Because if he'd have went to Canada, once that contract wore out, they would have had to pay him. If nobody drafted him, they'd have to give him $75 million a year if he goes up there and cooks the way Warren Moon did. You see, and we knew he was going to be, and they knew how good he was. Because there are 2 things that every quarterback needs to be successful: a running game and an offensive line. Shedeur Sanders never had an offensive line 4 years in college. Never had a running game all 4 years in college. But yet and still, with the 2 requirements to be a good quarterback, he still led the nation in completion percentage at around 74%. That may have been the best in college football history. 74% completion rating with no running game and no offensive line. So the only way to try to negate this was to try to bury him and not give him a chance. But he screwed him. Every time they tried to get him to say something negative, he wouldn't go negative. They couldn't hurt his feelings. They couldn't make him get emotional. He just kept smiling through it all. He was well screwed by Dion, because Dion went through all this. So when Grown got into this position, he knew the game. He knew the game. And I know the game. I mean, if you don't know the game, then if you are a foundational African American and you do not know the game, then you have not been paying attention. I mean, this is easy to see. If you believe, when you read the Bible and it tells you to follow the 10 Commandments, it tells you to what to eat and what not to eat. In Leviticus, it tells you, Deuteronomy 22 verse 5, that homosexuality is an abomination. When you read the truth and you live in truth, then you can see the truth, because you're not going to be biased and nobody can talk you out of the truth, which is what they're trying to do now to justify taking him, to not starting him at the beginning of the season. They keep calling him a 5th round draft pick. It wasn't a 5th round draft pick. He was supposed to go and he was supposed to be the first, second, or third player picked in the draft. And he's playing like that. And he's playing like that. Don't tell me don't tell me that what I see is not real, which is what these TV announcers and stuff is trying to do. They're trying to tell you that what you see is not real. I'll tell you something else. Billy Graham, you know who Billy Graham is? He told Caucasian Americans what? That Yahshua, Jesus, was a black man, a man of color. So you can throw this picture of white Jesus up in front of me all day long. But see, you're not gonna get me twisted, flip the script, and believe a lie because you saying it over and over again and spreading it on thick. That don't work with me. You drafted Shedeur Sanders because you did not want to get mooned. And although he's the starter this year, you are waiting till next year to go after him again with one mistake. Just one mistake. And all these, and one mistake, and all the snakes are going to come out of hiding and attack him again. And he knows this. But he already told you, I'm not going to fail. And that upsets you. Then you keep asking him these questions. Basically you asking him, how did you stand all this pressure? And he told you, God. And then or Yahweh. And then you keep asking him the same question over and over again. How can you stand up? How can you get emotionally involved and emotionally out of whack so we can jump on you? See, they're asking him, what can we do to throw you off game? And he told them, nothing. But this is a new word now. The reason why Shedeur Sanders was drafted by Cleveland was so that the NFL would not get mooned. They didn't want to get mooned, as in Warren Moon, have him go up there to Canada, prove them wrong, and then come back here, and they have to give him $75 million a year, plus the prime equity contract to go with it. They didn't want to do that. So Cleveland drafted him in the 5th round, and then they tried to bury him. And he would not be buried, and he would not be played with the silly questions. One of the goofiest questions was when they asked him recently, did you think